Hello, welcome everybody to our next lesson with A Course in Miracles. And I know, right, my backdrop does not probably match what I'm wearing. There's a lot of colour going on here, but so what? It's all meaningless, right? And nothing has to be perfect either. I've never gone into these videos thinking I've got to do them from beginning to end perfectly. I just kind of go with the flow of what comes in and what I feel I need to say during the moment, and that's it really. That's what I've tried to do as I'm going through this. This is my experience as much as it is yours, you know. Yeah, this course is all about going inwards and letting go of all the things that we see externally as so meaningless. It's so meaningless, you know. We keep giving it all these meanings, like everything has to be a certain way, you know, for us to be at peace. And these lessons that we're doing lately are all about just eradicating all of that and just being at peace regardless of what happens. And that's what I'm trying to do, you know, with things, you know, because I can be a bit of a perfectionist and I want things to be a certain way, but I'm trying to let go of all that and just going with the flow. And if the video isn't like, it just goes on like for what it is, you know. I started and what comes out. And as you've seen, I've made mistakes and I will probably make more. But, you know, when I do see myself, I do making mistakes, I do try and correct them. But at the end of the day, you know, this course is for you. It's your journey. I'm reading through these lessons and it's like we're working through them together. You know, it's a way of not feeling like you're on your own doing this and that, you know, you're getting some insights. I've always said, you know, share your comments under here. I'd love to hear how you're all getting on, but maybe that's too public to express, and that's fine too. You know, just follow your heart. There's no force, there's no right or wrong way of doing any of this. Just and even the guidance, you know, I keep saying half an hour on a morning and half an hour on the evening, do the meditations. But I mean, if you can only manage 5 minutes, so be it. I think the key is always to have that willingness, that this is what you want to give your priority, you know. So the more time you can give it, the more benefit it's going to be to you. And the less time, obviously, it's going to take a little longer to maybe reach that moment. But again, the Course says, you know, it's something in the mind, you could get it within an instant. One lesson could just whoosh, and the whole concept just comes to a head, which is ironic, isn't it? Like just coming to that place where we feel it all resolves. But does it really come from here, you know, or does it come from here, or does it come from here? You know, we keep finding out in science that the stomach is actually a brain as well. So we don't really know anything, do we? So after that long introduction, let me get started with today's lesson, which is 188 from the Workbook, A Course in Miracles, if I haven't already mentioned. And the lesson of the day is: the peace of God is shining in me now. The peace of God is shining within us all now. It's there. There really is no real hard work to get there. It's just a change of perspective, really. It's a change of looking at the world. Totally turn it upside down, and then you'll see the truth. So here we go. Why wait for heaven? Thus, those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now. Enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. Light is not of the world, yet you who bear the light in you are alien here as well. The light came with you from your native home and stayed with you because it is your own. It is the only thing you bring with you from him, who is your source. It shines in you because it lights your home and leads you back to where it came from, and you are at home. This light cannot be lost. Why wait to find it in the future or believe it has been lost already or was ever there, never there? It can so easily be looked upon that arguments which prove it is not there become ridiculous. Who can deny the presence of what he beholds in him? It is not difficult to look within, for there all vision starts. There is no sight, but be it of dreams or from our truer source, that it is not but the shadow of the seen through inward vision. Their perception starts, and there it ends, and has no source but this. The peace of God is shining in you now, and from your heart extends around the world. It pauses to caress each living thing, and leaves a blessing with it that remains forever and forever. What it gives must be eternal. It removes all thoughts of the inferior and valueless. It brings renewal to all tired hearts and lights all vision as it passes by. All of its gifts are given everyone, and everyone unites in giving thanks to you who give, and who have received. So always it's about giving and receiving, realizing that the light is within you. When you realize that light's within you, you give to others, like you're expanding it, because once you know it within yourself, that's all you can do. You know, it's kind of like, that's what it's saying to us. You know, we're going to get to that place where we're just like, you realize you're the light, and it's contagious. You know, you're just spreading it because it's your natural way of being. Once you get there, it's not like you have to like, remember, I've got to keep giving, remember. It's not like that once you've actually got it. It's kind of like that will just be the natural way you will begin to live. And we keep living this way until we brought everybody home, you know, brought the light back. Because everything in this world, the suffering, is all about what's going on inside. It's not about what's going on outside of you. That just is what's showing you that is wrong inside. You know, anything that you see that's like going, just feels suffering, it's something inside that needs to be looked at. So the external suffering is almost like a gift, really. It's just trying to get you to see, look, this suffering that's going on here, take a look inside, go seek the light within you, and this will be resolved. It will dissolve outside of you. So just remember that when things externally are grievances causing you problems, think, go in. Go to the lovely source within you. Close your eyes. Draw the thinking mind towards the heart, or draw it towards a light. Whatever works for you, that where you feel that you're going to a place within yourself that is sacred, go to that place. That is what will dissolve everything outside of you. And if it helps to put on some music, you know, as you do this meditation, that can help calm the thoughts, the busyness. It's like because with music, there's like an energetic energy, and it sort of has that like calming effect if you're choosing the right song. I mean, there's different ones, depends where you are and what really, but for everybody, you know, it's different music creates a vibrancy in the mind that can help you go to that place of calmness. So the shining in your mind reminds the world of what it has forgotten, and the world restores the memory to you as well. From you, salvation radiates, with gifts beyond all measure, given and returned. To you, the giver of the gift, does God himself give thanks, and in his blessing does the light in you shine brighter, adding to the gifts you have to offer to the world. The peace of God can never be contained. Who recognizes it within himself must give it, and the means by giving it are in his understanding. He forgives because he recognized the truth in him. The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. In quietness, it is acknowledged universally. For what your inward vision looks upon is your perception of the universe. Yes, just that sentence there, in quietness, it is acknowledged universally. Now, if you've ever been to a concert with thousands of people there, and just before, say, the artist comes on stage, you know, there might be a silence. The crowd is waiting. There's an anticipation. And in that, there's such a vast energy of like, it's like an excited energy. It's this energy of just beauty, you know, and there's things like that. That is like, that's what I thought of when it said universal knowledge of this peace, because there's like, we're like fireflies, if you think, that have that light within them all the time. It's like that. We don't realize it's there, but it is there. And it's in moments of joy, peace, love, that lights up. You know, like E.T. Have you ever watched the movie E.T. when it's like, E.T. phone home, and that inside of him starts lighting up? It's like that, you know? It starts beaming, and it's like you've got in touch with that, and your whole being feels joy. It's like in a new relationship, you know, it can start then. And you think it's the external relationship, it's not. It's something within you. It's like you're connecting to something deep within because you're perceiving things in different ways. It's like, and that source is always there, you know? It's there. It came from there. It didn't come from the person outside of you, which is what you thought, and so that person gets blamed if it suddenly diminishes. That's not where it came from. It's what you were thinking in your mind, how that unfolded in such... It's amazing, and you'll know what that feels like. Everybody has had those moments of joy in their lives, you know, the moments that, however long ago it might be, you have experienced it. And that's the source we've come from. So it's about remembering and getting back to that blissful place. So sit quietly and close your eyes. The light within you is sufficient. It alone has power to give the gift of sight to you. Exclude the outer world and let your thoughts fly to the peace within. They know the way. For honest thoughts, untainted by the dream of worldly things outside yourself, become the holy messengers of God Himself. These thoughts you think with Him, they recognize their home, and they point surely to their source, where God the Father and the Son are one. God's peace is shining on them, but they must remain with you as well, for they were born within your mind, as yours was born in God's. They lead you back to peace from where they came, but to remind you how you must return. They heed your Father's voice when you refuse to listen, and they urge you gently to accept His word for what you are instead of fantasies and shadows. They remind you that you are the co-creator of all things that live. For as the peace of God is shining in you, it must shine on them. We practice coming nearer to the light in us today. We take our wandering thoughts and gently bring them back to where they fall in line with all the thoughts we share with God. We will not let them stray. We let the light within our minds direct them to come home. We have betrayed them, ordering that they depart from us. But now we call them back and wash them clean of strange desires and disordered wishes. We restore to them the holiness of their inheritance. Thus are our minds restored with them, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us, and from us to all living things that share our life. We will forgive them all, absolving all the world from what we thought it did to us. For it is we who make the world as we would have it. Now we choose that it be innocent, devoid of sin, and open to salvation. And we lay our saving blessing on it as we say, "The peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me." Oh, it's so lovely just reading it, you know, reading the words, it just brings that peace. You can just feel it, like, and you know what it's saying is true. So in the practices there, when you've got your 30 minutes or your 5 minutes, however long you want to give it, in the morning, close your eyes, gather up the thoughts, because you're going to have thoughts as always going on. And what it's saying is bring those thoughts closer inward. So let them come in and in and in. And I imagine them, as they're coming in, they're getting cleansed with a light. And as they're getting cleansed with a light, they're getting happier and happier and more comforting and more peaceful. And as they get to that central point of silence, that is where you feel the light of who you are. And that's the practice, just to try that. Visualize that. Focus your mind on that, right? I'm bringing all the crazy thoughts. Yeah, what's going on today? I need to do this. Blah, blah, blah. Bring them in, bring them in, bring them in. Getting calmer, getting calmer, getting calmer. They're coming in, yep, they're getting washed of all the craziness, the illusions. They're coming to that peaceful place of just a silent Om. And when you get to that place, start your day and know that that centered place is within you all of the time. So on the hour, every hour, keep reminding yourself that it's inside of me. And if I want to give myself a minute, just go to the bathroom maybe if you're in a busy space, and just sit and take a moment just to bring yourself to that centered place. If your world's got crazy, if things are just overly, creating whatever in your world, give yourself that calmness. Give it to you as much as you can, because in that silence, it's where the power really is. It really is. This world is so noisy. There's so much going on. And yet there is a beautiful noise as well that resides within us. It resides in nature. You hear birds singing, you just hear the flow of like a natural way of going with this energy as we start to, come back to our true source. So that's our practice today. So keep, the little mini phrase is, the peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me. So as you find the peace in you, you're broadcasting that to the world, and just allowing the world to see that that peace is everywhere. It's not just within you, it's within everyone around you, everything around you. And when you can perceive that and believe that and feel that, that's it. You've got to that place. You've got to that place of serenity, of true source. And that's what we're all looking for, searching in this world. And you're going to get there. You're going to find it. And you have found it before. It's just remembering how you got there and staying with that presence. The more you do that, the more presents are going to come to you. Okay. Have a lovely day with the lesson, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.